Another assessment tool that we use is called the MAISY tool. This is the Massachusetts Youth Screening Instrument. It's designed to use in juvenile detentions. It's a behavioral assessment for the juvenile so that we can indicate how to best help them or behaviors that could possibly lead to other things while they're in our facility. So this test is a self-reported test that we administer to the youth. After assessment with RH, I was more confused about his case because with his file, it said that he was kind of this unruly kid. He didn't want to listen to anybody. He was just kind of a troublemaker, is what I gathered from the file. But once I met with RH, it was just simply that he didn't care. He was very unengaged, unenthused by the office's presence in his life, and he could care less for our willingness to try and help him and put him on the right track. As far as I'm concerned, RH felt that he was doing no wrong and that his life would just work itself out and that he didn't need anybody, which can be troubling for a young black African-American male in this day and age, walking around just not caring about life or authoritative figures for that matter, because at this point in time you do need that guidance, and he didn't understand that. So we decided to make a treatment plan with him. His treatment plan included him and his mother. His mother is really his only support system. She's kind of his caretaker. He doesn't have his father in his life. The treatment plan is for a total of 3 months. Yeah. As far as we're the last slide for assessment, RH really didn't prioritize his goals. I pretty much prioritized his goals based off of his assessment scores and what I felt like he was at the highest risk for and the highest needs for. And I decided to put his treatment plan in the way to tackle the biggest things first, because I could see that maybe RH wouldn't be successful because he was so unenthused. So I figured if we could tackle the big things first, well, maybe he's somewhat enthused or engaged or has to feel like he has to, then maybe on the back end it wouldn't be as hard to get it done because it would be easier tasks. So that's how I decided to prioritize it, and he had to sign off on it, which he did in the end. And as far as creating his treatment plan go, I took into account his age, the culture in which he lives in, his gender, race played into this. He's very much in that kind of, he wants to live that fast lifestyle. He's very young, so he thinks he knows everything, and that can be very detrimental to a youth like him. So as far as intervention went, since he was an involuntary client, he had no choice but to work with me. So him coming into contact with the courts was more or less the intervention method that we had to use in this setting. On his own, RH failed to comply with the treatment plan. So therefore, we had to file a motion to modify to bring him back to court to notify the judge that, hey, RH isn't following our treatment plan goals. Maybe we should put more restrictive rules on him, place more sanctions, or the ultimate end goal, if he didn't continue to follow the rules, would be DYS. But in the result of the motion to modify, we just, at that point in time, gave him more restrictive rules, as in his curfew is now 8 o'clock on weekdays and 9 p.m. on weekends. Before this point in time, RH was on informal adjustment. This is the step right before a formal probation. And at that point in time, I kind of got to engage with him. That's when I told RH, hey, I'm from St. Louis. You know, I'm a black man in society. You know, it's more to life than just the fast life, that walking around like you just don't care isn't cool. That, you know, being cool comes from you just being who you are. And before RH's cousin died, is what he told me, he was a different person. That's what his mother reported. But just recently, he just became very different, and it was apparent that he was different. Because of it, I just couldn't know exactly why or what it was. But RH wasn't very compliant with the treatment plan. He did not follow the rules. So the DJ and myself explained to him several times that, hey, if you don't follow these rules and if your behavior continues,